It's the Duffin Up Podcast.
All right, Duff Daddies and Duff Moms. We have on a very, very special guest for you this weekend. We have Elly Carlson, TikTok's favorite caddy, by the way, because boy, every single one of the videos that I watch, she is just going fantastic, whether it was at Harbor Town or now at TPC Sawgrass. And not only that, but she's also working with the PGA Tour, and we share a love of Harbor Town as well. So Elly Carlson, welcome onto the podcast. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
First question. Okay. I want to hear, so far, just at TPC Sawgrass, what is the most amount of balls that you have seen one single person hit in the water on 17?
I don't really let them hit more than 3.
I love that.
3.
I love that.
It's like, wrap it up. Let's go. Come on.
I mean, it's all about the experience. So yeah, like if you want to tee up a couple more, go for it. But I'm not going to give you 7 tries.
There will be no Ben on this platform here. We get 3, and then if not, we'll put it in the bunker right there. We'll put it somewhere on the green, and you can right.
Exactly.
I love that. That's great. So obviously, being a caddy at both TPC Sawgrass at Harbor Town, 2 amazing PGA Tour courses. Brian knows that I definitely have a favorite out of both of those 2, and that's okay.
Brennan is the biggest fan of Harbor Town and just Hilton Head in general, and it's awesome. But I think it's gone sour on me, the amount of Brennan time. Yeah, you can see.
You see this, Brian? You see this? This is my one true love. You have Midori. I have the lighthouse from Harbor Town.
Oh man, he's a true fan.
Do you wear that on your feet?
I don't even have one of those. I need one of those.
Oh, just steal Matt Fitzpatrick's. I mean, no, he may keep that one under lock and key after winning. But...
yeah, that one's special.
Oh man, but no, those. But obviously, you've been able to work and caddy at 2 amazing PGA Tour courses. Where do you see really the difference kind of between both of them after, being out there, playing both of them, walking both of them? What are some of the biggest differences between the 2 courses?
Are you talking about more like golf course wise, or the people that play it?
I mean, we can go both ways with this, because I'd love to hear first off the people that are paying $900 or $800 or whatever it is to play Sawgrass. Sure. Meanwhile, with the resident discount, we get Harbor Town for like $175, which is unbelievable. But still, people pay an arm and a leg to play both places. Definitely just want to hear on that side. What are some of the big key differences, both golf course wise as well as people who are playing it wise?
Okay, yeah. So golf course wise, obviously both are Pete Dye design courses. Very, very, very well known, and the greens are very well known across the US where he builds his courses. So the greens are going to be very similar, very grainy, but also decently easy to read. I've noticed that they're not too bad to read as a caddy. And just the biggest difference, first of all, is definitely going to be the fairways. Harbor Town is way, way, way narrower, like big difference. Sawgrass is a little bit more open, a little bit more undulated. It's not straightforward. Everything at Harbor Town feels like it's straightforward. And the greens at Harbor Town are very, very, very small. Sawgrass is definitely going to be bigger greens.
People don't believe me when I say Harbor Town have probably the smallest greens that I've ever seen on like a legitimate resort style PGA style. They are so small, and the fact that the tour guys absolutely ripped that place to shreds is unbelievable, and it just shows you how freaking good they are.
And people, especially on TV, I don't think the 18 at Harbor Town is they don't understand what it looks like until you see it in person. And you realize that that's the biggest fairway on the tour, but also probably one of the smallest greens to hit on the tour. And so that hole is just opposite ends of the spectrum for both the greens and the fairway, and it is very, very, very intimidating. And you won't know that until you play it.
Boy, I wish I could say that I've hit that. I hit that 18th fairway, the biggest fairway on the PGA Tour. I wish I could say that I've hit that every time.
Have you not, Brent?
The amount of, I'm a lefty, so the amount of slices that have just gone into
I'm
Calabogie.
not even gonna ask where your approach shots on the green went.
Oh God. We have a friend who's there. His name is Chuck, and he was always our four caddy, and he was awesome. And he
Young
would just
guy or old guy?
old guy.
Yep.
You know Chuck? Oh, he's
Yeah, I
the
know
best.
Chuck.
Oh, he's the best. So like he would just like on the 18th hole, he would just be like, all right, Brendan, like your slice is gonna work, but just not too much. Like literally aim for the houses.
Yeah.
And then one time I pulled it into the house, and he's like, all right, no shattered windows, we're good. We're just gonna go, we're gonna pick it up, we're gonna put it back, we'll be fine. And it's like, okay, we're good here. We're
You
good.
play the miss. You play the miss.
Oh, you always play the miss on that. Because if you slice it too much, I mean, it's Calabogie, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, but then you have 17 at Sawgrass. You're not playing that miss. It's gonna go in the water regardless. Like you have no hope. Like if
that is true.
On number one, I automatically know if you're gonna hit it on 17 or not.
Really?
Oh, it's easy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Love that. Yeah. So when you're out there, or even just like, how quick is it? How quick do you usually pick up how to caddy someone while they're out there? Like someone you never met, but like I'm sure you could tell within the first hole or two, being like, okay, this is how I'm gonna caddy you, because you're gonna caddy Brendan's slice. You're gonna tell him to aim this way as opposed to this way the entire time.
Right. So it depends, of course, on the person. But the first two holes is kind of just a feel of the group and the golfer in general, and like how much knowledge they know. I like to look at their bag and see what's in their bag. That's kind of cheating, and like, but I do, because it'll tell you. But once you kind of like, you don't get to know the golfer for their misses until probably later on in the front nine. So if I'm like, oh, this guy slices every single shot, I'm gonna realize that right around 4 or 5, and then I'm like, okay, go ahead and play that miss. But I think the biggest part is trying to figure out how much they actually know about the game, how much they actually play, because it's very, very common that you're like, get a guy that's played once in the last 5 years and he wants to play Sawgrass, and you're like, okay, it's
a great place to pick it back up, I guess.
I mean, there was one day at Harbortown, I got these two guys. It was like a father son. The son was probably 20, but they were from a different country. I'm not really sure. They didn't speak a ton of English. And on the first tee, I always asked, do you guys want to play the blues or the whites? And just like, that's a very straightforward question. Every golfer in the world knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I said, do you want to play the blues or the whites? And he goes, I want to play the first hole. Like he was so lost. And I was like, oh my God, I'm literally going to make these guys tee up from the reds. And I'm like, I'm not ashamed of it, because they've never touched a golf ball in their entire life.
Wow.
God, that's such a waste of money though.
But they do it for the experience. And they're like, when you Google and you go to like Hilton Head, it's like, what do I do in Hilton Head? First thing that pops up is play Harbortown. And people with money, they're like, oh, let's do it.
Yeah, quick $400 out of here. Who cares? That's chump change for them. We've seen all those beautiful houses down there. So Lord knows, yeah. I didn't live in one of those. I lived in a nice little small house, but it's okay.
But yeah, you get a variety of like good golfers, very experienced golfers, terrible golfers, and also people that have never touched a club. So it's all over the place.
That's crazy. Yeah, definitely want to know because going back to the bags. So you sometimes you'll look into their bags. What is a dead giveaway that they're a good golfer versus not a good golfer?
Iron head covers, usually.
I like it. Aaron Rye would disagree, but I agree with you.
No,
he's the worst. Everyone was talking about how slow Patrick Cantlay was at the Heritage. He and Aaron Rye were together. It took 20 minutes for a shot. Like it was horrendous watching them together in the third round. It was awful.
That's awful.
But iron head covers is for it. I like that a lot.
That's the one, or which you would think would be the opposite, but not having head covers for your driver in your woods. And it's just like
it's a fine line. Too many head covers or no head covers at all.
Yeah. So it's all over the place. And like if they're clean, I don't really care if they're clean or not, but you can just tell a difference. Like if they're garage clubs and you got them from your uncle back in the 90s, you can tell.
I feel like rental clubs is a hit or miss, because I mean it's gonna be like it's gonna be people's first time out, or someone who just didn't bring their clubs and they're an absolute stick out there.
True. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. But yeah, that's definitely, you're like, I have no idea what I'm getting myself into.
If you don't have the room for your clubs, but you have room for the iron covers, do you put the iron covers on the rental clubs?
I don't know. That's funny.
But anyway,
why do you guys,
Tim.
Elly? Yeah, Elly, I just want to say hello. Sorry for being late,
What's up?
guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. Thanks for having me. You know, because I was the late one.
You're welcome, Mike. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mike.
Love to talk about iron covers and jumping right into that. Sawgrass, Hilton Head. Brendan bust me in his glory talking about Hilton Head.
It's been nonstop. Don't worry.
Good.
And it will be nonstop.
It was
the worst podcast to come on, man. This is gonna be nonstop.
All-time record. He showed his head cover like in the first 5 minutes. It was pretty quick.
Yeah.
5 minutes. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, Bry Guy. 30 seconds.
Oh geez, did he talk about his house and everything? He's living down there and all that.
Yet. It's coming.
Oh, not yet. Oh, it's coming. Okay. Well,
What I
yeah.
deal
Let's
with on a regular basis.
why do you
Tim.
think?
Ask your question, Tim.
No. I was going to ask about the iron covers. Why is it that new players wear iron covers? Is it like something like the golf club dealer is like, oh, I see this guy coming, I'm just going to sell him everything and say that he needs iron covers? Or like, where does the iron covers come from?
I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe it's, you get something that was pretty expensive and you want to take care of it, and it's like an option, and you don't know that you don't really need it.
Okay, so it's like the dealer's like, you buy a new house, you're like, I want to take care of my house, so I'm going to sell this guy volcano insurance or something, and I live in like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and I was nowhere near.
You live in New Hampshire.
You're like, I just bought something really expensive, I'm going to take care of it. Sure.
It's like the bumper guards that people put on their cars, or like things like.
I was trying to think of an equivalent, something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like warranties or things like it's all sales. It's purely sales. But iron covers I feel like are on the wall, like that you're going down. You got your divot tools. You got your just like even head covers too. Everyone has like the same generic head covers, like Red Sox logo or someone's logo there. And I feel like they see iron head covers and they think it has a place in this game, and then they never use them again once they get one person chirps them.
Yeah.
But that's
Elly, what is in your opinion? I mean, going by my 2 minutes of knowing you, and you've played or you've walked Sawgrass a lot, and so you know the course from top to bottom and everything like that. What's your favorite hole on that golf course? Not including 17. I don't even know if that's your favorite, but what's your favorite hole?
No, too many balls in the water.
Yeah.
12.
12 is.
It's a short par 4. It's drivable. It's a little dog leg to the left. Rory.
Yes.
Drove the green, put it really close. Gave a good look at Eagle. I don't know if he made it. I don't remember. But like, if you're gonna watch the tournament, that's the place to watch. If you're not gonna be on 17. Because I love trying to see those guys try to drive that green. Playing it, I've never had a guy that's been good enough to even go for it.
Okay.
But it's still, I just really like that hole. So, and I like 13 as well. It's the par 3 over the water. Fun fact, my first day caddying ever, I'm carrying this guy's bag and I'm like in training, quote unquote training. And he's like a pretty decent golfer. He probably shot like 95. And I told him it was 157, and I told him, I was like, it's into the wind, hit it 165, and he hits it up there and he makes a hole in one. Wow. And the first day caddying ever at Sawgrass, the dude made a hole in one on 13, and I was just like on cloud 9. I'd never had one myself. I've never seen one, and the guy that I was caring for made a hole in one.
Wait, so this is your first time caddying ever, not just at the course? At
Sawgrass. I was at Harbortown for 4 years, and then I went to Sawgrass when I moved, and that was my first day at Sawgrass. So all the other caddies were pissed. They were like, Elly got a hole in one today and she just showed up.
That's great that the caddy lingo is like, you got a hole in one, not the guy you were caddying
No,
for.
it's like I got a hole in one. It's like it goes on our caddy resume is what I like to say.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
well, congrats on your hole in one
Yeah,
then.
thanks.
Oh shoot.
I mean, you were the brains behind the whole hole in one there. So
Yeah, I know, right? Like the video is awesome. I made a really good video on it on Instagram and TikTok, but the guy, like, he gave me a high five and was like, that was all my caddy, and so he was pretty nice about it.
Hey, if you didn't help him, he would have hit his 157 club and
Yep.
it would have ended very short. So, you know, always listen to your caddies, people. Always listen to, they know what they're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. So
well, it's funny. I just thinking about that. Tim and I had a opposite experience when we were in Ireland, and the only reason why it was the opposite experience was because they were measured in meters versus yards.
There you go.
So like just obviously that subtle difference where they were like it's 150 downhill, and like I asked for a club, and his eyes shot up. He's like, really? He goes, okay, like not like knowing. Like that's because that's what I would hit 150 in yards, and so I just absolutely flew the green, and it just totally.
How long did it take for you to realize that it was backwards?
A really long time, honestly.
Really?
Like, sadly, yeah.
No.
Like, yeah, well, like it was also like right on the ocean, so it was like windy and it was kind of just different. We just got off the plane, so it was like first day, like golf
give
round.
us a hole, Brian. Give us a hole. Give us a hole.
Give you a hole.
Yep. What hole number were you like? Damn, this is meters.
Yeah.
Tim, would you say it was like seventh hole?
It was out there. Like
It's
we were just
gotta be the caddy's fault. Like if they know that some Americans are coming in, like if I have people that are from a different country, I always ask.
So it's true, but these kids, just granted, it was actually we got probably like the skeleton crew, if not just the course owner's sons, because it was that same day as their Gaelic football like championship, so like their Super Bowl, and so it was very scarce out there, and we got paired with these like they're like 13-year-olds, 13-year-old caddies. So it was, I think they just threw a bib on him, drew the short stick, and was out on the course with the 3 Americans while everyone else was watching their Super Bowl.
That's
So,
hilarious.
yeah. So, but it's too funny. But back to you, and so you also played college golf as well.
I did, yes. So I played 1 year of JUCO in California, and after 1 year there, I got transferred. I went to Carlson, which is a small D2 Christian school in East Tennessee. I was there for the rest of my 3 years, graduated, and then I was the graduate assistant for 1.5 years.
That's cool. That's cool. A nice course that playing on.
Yeah, they had a couple of good courses out there. It definitely has like 4 seasons, so it is going to be cold in the spring, but I came from Colorado, so I was kind of used to that. We did get to travel a lot for different tournaments, which was awesome. We got to go down to Hilton Head and play Robert Trent Jones. That was one of my favorites.
10th hole at Robert Trent Jones. Can't beat it with little cocos on the beach right there. Oh, amazing. Really? Absolutely amazing.
It's a good one.
Now, Elly, I'm curious. I've never really talked to anyone who's played college golf. What's the day-to-day life of a college golfer? You know, like how do you balance school and when do you practice? And you got to go on trips on the weekend to go play tournaments. You know, what does a life of a college golfer look like?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think a lot of people have the same question because golf is so much different than any other sport, especially in the college sports world. But you don't have a set practice. At least we didn't. It was go and practice when you can, because all of our schedules were different, and our one coach couldn't be at our practice with everybody there because what people were at different classes and all that good stuff. So, and golf is such an individual sport, as you know, so what you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. And if you decide not to practice that day, you don't practice and you're not going to qualify, you're not going to make the team. Like, that's on you. At least that was the D2 level for me. So it was go to class, go practice when you can, get the workout in. And then tournaments are practice round Sunday, play Monday, Tuesday. So you're missing 2 days of college. traveling. So we travel Saturday and then we travel back Tuesday night. And at D2 level, you are in a van driving up to like 8 or 9 hours. So it is a grind and it's not glamorous whatsoever, but you do it for the love of the game, of course. So that was pretty much what my college experience was. And it's the same for coaching as well. But I was driving the van.
You were driving?
Yeah, I drove the van.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that must be a little because I don't know when for Nova, like we couldn't, our coaches drove the van, and then but I did a different sport, so it wasn't even golf, but like our coaches drove the van once in a while, and then like they would make us drive the van too if they got tired, and I was like, oh
Really?
God,
Yeah.
dude, this is terrible. But I completely understand where you're coming from.
I'm going to keep backtracking on your life, but how did you get into golf?
I know we literally started. We did the polar opposite.
Like,
Where were you born? How was your birth?
Like, how amazing is TBC Sawgrass? Oh, by the way, like, you were 4 at one time. How did you start playing golf then? Like,
Yeah, right.
The Benjamin Button.
We Benjamin Button this podcast real hard. That's
I love it. I'm all for it. I should do that in TikTok too. Like start with the good stuff and then go backwards.
Yeah.
But just to get people's attention. No. So I was a gymnast, like lifelong gymnast. I traveled competitively. That was going to be my life. I was going to do that in college. I did that since I was 2 or 3. I had a couple big injuries when I was like 12. So I quit around that time and I was like, what the heck am I going to do with my life? This was my life and I don't have any other background in any other sports. Everybody else grew up trying everything else and I literally only did one thing. So I'm 12 and my dad was like, let's try everything. So I did volleyball, I did softball, I did track. We had a course down the road. The dad was like, you can go get some lessons if you want to. So I kind of got a couple lessons and the coach I had, he was like, you have a pretty good swing, naturally flexible and good balance and really like, strong. If you really want to work on it, I feel like you could be prepared to play for a high school play. If you wanted to try out for the high school team. I was 15 when I first started hitting golf balls. So I was pretty late to the game. And I kind of got some lessons. I was like, yeah, I'll go out for the high school team in the spring. And so I got some lessons, never played a round of golf ever in my life. Went out for the golf team and I like made it, quote unquote, made it because I think everybody made it in Colorado. But we didn't actually play a round of golf until our first tournament. And that was my first round of golf ever. And I was 15.
Wow. I mean, that's a great story though.
That's incredible.
That's unbelievable. I love that story. That's
great.
Like
my coach likes to tell the story, or my dad likes to tell the story, but he's not here, so I'll tell it. But my first round of golf ever, we're on the first tee and my coach comes up to me and he hands me a rangefinder. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, you use it to shoot the pin, like you don't know how far to hit it. And I'm like, okay, but that number means nothing to me. Like I don't know how far I hit my 7.
Good point.
And I've really never played a round at all either. So I go and I start on a par 3 and I hit the shot and I hit it at the green. And I looked at my coach and I was like, so what do I do now? Like, I was so lost. But I think I actually
at the range, you don't leave the tee box at the range.
No, that's exactly right. Like I mean, at a very low surface level, like mind, that's what that was.
You're like, do I have any other balls? Where's my basket of balls?
Yeah. I hit another one. No more than 3 off the tee.
Only 3.
No more than 3.
Yeah.
3 is the max we get, people. That's the max.
But I mean, we all kick ourselves saying, I wish I started golf earlier. But
Sure.
we actually aren't like as skilled as you are. So you must be kicking yourself. Be like, maybe even if at the age of 14, you're like, I wish I played earlier. Because
Yeah.
we all got
way to bring up bad memories, Brian. Way to make everyone sad. No,
I'm just deflecting because I'm kicking myself. So
oh, dude, I'm kicking myself. I chose freaking hockey over or whatever I chose over golf. I'm mad at myself to this day. I could have been Tiger Woods out there. No, I couldn't. But you always say that.
Listen, everybody else, like everybody says that. Everybody says, I wish I would have started earlier, or I wish I got my kids into it earlier. I feel like that's such a big thought process. but that's why I love the game of golf, and that's why everybody else does too, is you can play it for the rest of your life. So I always say it doesn't matter when you get into it, you can still be a really good player if you keep practicing. Like there's guys out there that are older and they're shooting their age, and like who knows when they started? Probably not at 4. So I don't think that was a huge factor.
No, that's
that.
great. And yeah, you love hearing you do love hearing the stories about people who take up golf at a later age and are able to make it pro. And I know a couple, I don't know if there's any like prominent women on the LPGA tour right now that did that, but there's a bunch, there's a bunch throughout history too. So it's always really cool to hear like stories of like people getting it. And like I don't even think 14's that late. Like my dad didn't start playing golf until he was 30. And I mean, he's not good, but like, like it's one of those things where people just start at different times.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that I've heard, especially recently, is people, and this is like literally a thing, is what they've been calling it. They're like COVID golfers,
Yeah,
and
right.
started playing during COVID, and because they had nothing else to do. And I love that term, just because like, I mean, people will go out and play and that's how they learned, but that's how they started. So now we have this influx of people that have now been playing for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, and now they're still into it and they still want to learn, but they started in 2020, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
it's so true. Like it's so true. Like I've like 5 to 10 buddies that either I work with or whatever, and they've all joined, and they're all starting out, and this is like their second, third, whatever. They're obsessed with golf. And they think I'm a good golfer because of my prerequisite that I played golf before COVID. And what they don't know is that I'm not good at golf, but they think that I am a pro when they've never played with me before, because I played golf before that. But it is great to see the COVID golfers, and because you get to see like someone who's like, yeah, let me pick up a golf club. And then you get to see all of a sudden, like after one round of golf, that bug, they're like, I can't wait to get back out there. And you're like, oh, this is cool. You get to see it like even in adults, it is really cool.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
Yeah. One thing I definitely want to ask, Elly, is obviously like after, one thing we usually do talk about is just golf accessibility. And I think it kind of segues great into this because, obviously coming from 2 courses, very beautiful courses, expensive courses, kind of cream of the crop. And then I know, especially like we are from New England, accessibility is a little difficult on our side because it's kind of similar where it's either like beautiful private country club or dog track muni. I'm not sure if it was the same way in Colorado, but it's really interesting to see that. I think the South does it better because they do have kind of those public resort courses, but they're a little bit more expensive. But how do you think the game of golf can become more accessible to a lot of these newer golfers and these, like what you said with people who brought it up for COVID or people who are just learning the game now? How does the golfing industry and the golfing world make this sport more accessible when back in the day it was kind of meant to be not accessible?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I think at a very basic level, going to the local range, I don't care if it's a muni, but if you're never, picked up a club in your life and you want to go hit balls, go and pay $8 for a bucket of balls. Go and figure it out. Borrow a friend's clubs, borrow your dad's clubs. I don't care. Like go and hit 3 shots with each club and leave. And that at a very basic level is a great way to start, and go do that once a week. And then it becomes 2 times a week, and then it becomes 2 bucket of balls. And the more you practice, the more you get into it. And then you can go into more like the muni courses that are close. And I think communities are making it more accessible for people to go and play 18 holes, and they added a 9-hole rate. They have an afternoon rate that you can go out past 3 and it's half price. Like that's definitely a thing that will get people that don't usually play golf into going to play golf, and the junior rates and like that kind of stuff too.
Right. I think that's great. I think that's great. I think, we're definitely advocates of everything on that side because we aren't, I grew up playing a local smaller less, 9-hole country club, and I know Brian and Tim did the same with Lincoln, and so it's very similar, where it's just like it's a country club, but it wasn't really a country club. It was like a golf club with a bar attached to it that charged fees. But just being able to kind of build up that side, and it's something I think is really, really important, especially with so many eyes on the game of golf through either the new PGA Tour's contracts, through Full Swing, which I definitely want to talk about, through all these different new mediums, and especially the women's game growing insane right now. I just feel like it's so important to kind of continue this big bump that it got over the past 3 years and continue it to grow.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. And I think that, I mean, I live in Florida right now, so we do have a better weather than you guys. Down here, we have a little bit
Just
more.
a bit, just a little bit, not.
Hey, I'm from Colorado. I get it.
You have different grass down there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but we have a lot of ranges that are open at night, but a lot of them have some kind of club. They have the women's club on Tuesday nights, come in and get half price wine and hit a couple balls. Like, a lot of them have that kind of atmosphere or that club that you can be a part of. So just like go check it out is usually what I suggest.
Now, do you? I'm curious now. I feel like ladies starting out, women starting out, maybe they would feel uncomfortable going to a course that's predominantly male or something like that. I mean, I could see like your value being a woman caddy. Just like, do they often pair you with ladies on the course, just to make their time more comfortable? I don't know if they request you or not, but I can see your value being there, because I don't. When I was caddying, it was all boys. It was all boys, and I mean, and this is 20 years ago. But do they try to pair you with other ladies, or does it just kind of mixed bag or luck of the draw kind of thing?
I will say I am the only female caddy at Sawgrass right now. At
Awesome.
Harbortown, I was one of 4 or 5, depending on the time of year, and no, they will not go out of their way to pair me with ladies, especially because I really don't think there's a lot of ladies groups. It comes along once in a while, but it's not, a big deal. At Harbortown, a couple times there were a group of ladies, and they saw me before I even got paired with them, and they're like, oh my gosh, can we get the girl caddy? Can we get the girl caddy? And then my caddy master's like, yeah, that's totally fine. And then it's a good thing, and then they're comfortable because they don't have this random little kid caddying for them, or like this random old guy, and they have the the girl caddy. So I do like caddying for the women, and it doesn't happen very often, but I do enjoy it.
Is that what they call you, the girl caddy?
The girl caddy. Yeah.
The girl caddy.
It's the girl caddy.
He has a name, people. And it's
Hey, I hashtag girl caddy on TikTok all day long. That's my hashtag, girl caddy.
I love that. That's awesome. That's got to be a point of pride for you, being the only girl caddy at TPC Sawgrass. That's so cool.
I was pretty shocked when I found out, but yeah, I know it's always revolving. People get hired and people go on and stuff like that. But as of right now, I am the only girl.
That's cool. I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity, It's like, that's so cool.
I mean, I don't know how much behind the scenes you want to go in, but it's like I'm going forward in time. Now, can you walk us through a day of being like a caddy? Like what do you wake up, go through that stuff?
Yeah. So right now for Sawgrass, I caddy on the weekends because I work 9 to 5 at the PGA Tour. And on Friday afternoon is when I find out what time I have to be at the course. And most of the time it's like mid-afternoon, so probably like between 12 to 1. And so in the morning, I'll go work out. In the morning, I just have to get some kind of like exercise in, kind of do my morning routine, and then I'll head to the course. We usually get there an hour before your tee time. That way you're ready to set up. If there's any changes in groups, you can go as needed. That way there's always caddies there. But you pretty much have a tee time. It's not like the traditional, you sit there all day and you hope you get a group.
That's what Tim and I were used to. I was like,
yeah,
I most days didn't get out. Yeah, I didn't get out most of the time. Because I mean, I only started, did it for one summer, lost a guy's head cover, and he yelled at me, and I never went back. Yeah, it was.
We were lucky at Ledgemont. We were lucky to be 4 caddies. Like they would give us our putters and then they would give us a $10 tip at the end. And I was like, what? Like I just walked 4 hours with you and you gave me $10. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah. Wow. Times have definitely changed, but
I mean, yeah, I'm 31 now. So this was literally 17 years ago. So
gosh. Yeah, no, it is very nice. They have like an actual setup. The caddy master gives you a tee time and you show up. And if there's changes, like last week, I was going to 4 caddy on the stadium course. And then literally 5 minutes before, he was like, just kidding, you're going on the valley course 4 caddying. And I was like, okay, whatever. Ended up being one of the best caddy rounds of my entire career. So
that's great.
It works out that way. But then, so I loop and finish the round. There is a minimum recommended gratuity for either a 4 caddy or walking caddy. So you're not going to get like a $10 tip and then say goodbye. They will settle up with you there. Most of the time it's cash. Sometimes they'll do Venmo, which I like. And then, and then that's it. Like you go home, you don't have to clean the cart. Like you're good to go. You show up, you do your loop and you leave.
Wow.
Now, which one do you like better, Elly? Do you like more of the 4 caddying, or do you kind of enjoy, like, I mean, obviously I'm sure you don't like lugging around an enormous bag for 4 hours, but which one would you kind of prefer doing on, like, mostly if you're just doing it on the weekends like you are now? Do you prefer doing the 4 caddying, or do you prefer doing the full caddying?
Money aside, like if I was getting this paid the same for both, I would still pick the 4 caddy because I'm walking a little bit more. I'm a little bit more flexible, and I get to talk to all of the people in the group, and I don't just get stuck with one. And most of the time when you get stuck with one, it's a good situation and they're not, rude to you, whatever. But it is nice to mix it up and you're the only caddy. You kind of get to control the group. Whereas if there's 3 caddies for 3 guys, I'm not really competing, but like I'm still there with 2 other caddies. And as a girl, I feel like I don't get to control as much. That's just me. But if I'm a 4 caddy, I know the course and they can't argue with me. So like I'm in charge. So I do like 4 caddying, but with money, I do get paid more for caddying than I do walking caddy. So it is nice all around to get a 4 caddy group.
Besides your blue tee, white tee, no, I just want to play the first hole story. Do you have any like memorable moments, funny moments, bad moments that that have come off right off the top of your head that we'd like to know? Because I'm sure you have so many stories of like good people to caddy for, bad people, hilarious stories. Just give me something.
I got hit one time. I was on 15 Harbor Town, and all 4 guys, and everybody's like, how'd you get hit? Where were you not looking? And I was like, oh, listen. So all 4 guys hit their tee shots and they were all fine. And so I'm starting to walk. One guy hits a second one without telling me, and I didn't know because his ball was fine. I don't know why he did hit a second one. Hits a second one, line drive to the shin.
Oh no! Boniest part.
I'm like,
do you get the same reaction?
Yes, I'm like maybe 100 yards up to the right, like off to the right, but I go down and I'm like sobbing. Thank God the cart lady was right there. She saw it happen. She was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, no. And she called the caddy master, and this kid, he was maybe like 19, and he kind of was like, oh, sorry, and then like laughed. So like I don't think he
laughed.
Yeah, I don't think he realized that it hit me so hard.
Oh God.
Caddy master picked me up and I was like, hey guys, like there's no way I can walk the next 3 holes. Like, I'm sorry. They paid me pretty well, thank goodness. And then my caddy master took me to the urgent care.
I was about to say, like, those guys should have paid for the freaking urgent care bill too.
I know. So that's a good one. I mean, it wasn't enjoyable, but it's a good story. Yeah. So
must have left a huge bruise. I can't imagine.
Seriously.
Oh, that's
huge hematomata. I'm sure you get that same sound out of everyone you tell that story to, because we all made the same sound. We went, ooh.
Yeah, right.
Just the way you told that line drive straight to the shin. Oh, you could just feel it, visualize it. Oh, good story.
I had this one group and they were rowdy, like drinking, having a grand old time. I think it was a bachelor party. Like they were just having a grand old time. And we get to the back nine at Harbortown, and they are gone. Like they're just, you know, having a great time, but they can't see the golf ball. Like we're
What
not
a
making
waste again. Oh,
it is what it
what
is.
a
And it happens all the
waste.
time. I know, I hate it. But this one guy, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just line up the putt? Because he was still asking for reads and I would tell him, but he couldn't figure out, you know, how far out right he was aiming, blah, blah, blah. So I take the ball and I line it up for him. And I'm not even joking. He made the next like 8 in a row.
Wow.
And he was freaking out. He was like, Ellie's lining up my putts and she knows exactly what she's doing. And like, I'm the best putter in the world. And I was like, oh my gosh, like.
Yeah, sure, dude. You're the best putter in the world. That's how we'll do
Yeah.
it. I don't even think the last time I played Harbortown, I think I literally had 1 beer on the front and 1 beer on the back. And that's like, I don't know why, but like, I just feel like I feel like it's Sawgrass too. I wouldn't even drink. Like, honestly, like if I'm paying $900, well, that's not true. No, that's not true. But I feel like if you're paying that much and then you get hammered, like you just miss out on like one of the best experiences that you could have.
I know. I almost had to ask a guy to leave on 13 at Harbortown because he was so trashed. He was a single paired with 3 amazing guys. And those 3 amazing guys, like poor people, because they got paired with this rando and he was awful. I think he drank 9 before the turn. Really a beer a hole.
You can't go 9. This is not baseball. You can't.
9 for
By
9.
himself. Like it wasn't like he was with his buddies. Like he was by himself.
He must have been going through it because that's pretty concerning.
Very concerning.
But
how did he make it through? Now I need to hear how he made it through. Or was it just like, I mean,
stretcher,
13.
This is funny because he was just is the best way to describe it is he had like the biggest short man syndrome ever.
There we go.
Just like way over the top and just like had this massive energy, but it was also very negative and like a couple bad comments to me as well. And I was just like not going to deal with it. And the other guys, like, thank goodness they kind of said something and they were sticking up for me. They were like, hey, like, you know, ignore him. We'll try to get him off. If you need to call the caddy master, get him kicked out, whatever. And I was like, we're almost done. Like, you know, he paid for the round. Let's just get through it. And terrible golfer, by the way. Like, oh my God, terrible. And we get to 18 and he tops his drive. Like, and it doesn't even leave the tee box. Like, it's just like, it just dribbles a couple feet in front of him. And he turns around, shakes the guy's hands, shakes my hand, reaches into his pocket, hands me $100, I think, or something like that. And he's like, that's it. It was a great day. I'm leaving. And we're all like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm leaving. I can't do it anymore. I'm going to finish like this. I'm just going to walk home.
He's going that way anyway. Why not just finish the hole?
Like, yeah, 18 is like actually really far from the clubhouse. If you didn't know, I don't know how you're going to
It's so far away. The PGA Tour players literally take carts because they.
I didn't know.
It's like a good quarter of a mile walk.
It is,
like
yeah. That. And it was just so awkward, and I just had to tell him like, "Hey, don't leave. Like, at least finish the round." And it was really embarrassing. But yeah.
Did he?
I'm sure you guys were
did he finish or did he leave?
I think he just like I don't think he actually hit another ball. I think he just stayed in his car and walked in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
That's pretty wild.
Now, would you rather, at least at Harbortown, did you rather have guys in the cart or would you rather have them with the push carts and like walking with you? Because I always walk that course because it's cart path only, and I'm like, why would you even take a car?
Yeah. So Sawgrass is the same way. It's cart path only. But if you're talking to me and you're like, hey, I'm playing Sawgrass, what should I do? I always recommend walking. Like, of course, you need to see the golf course. But as a caddy, I don't really care as long as like they're pretty cool, because if they're not, then I'm walking with them. When they're in a car, it's like my getaway. Like I can leave you alone for the next 2 minutes while I'm in the trees. But if you have a push cart, like you're stuck with me. So, or I'm stuck with you.
I like that answer.
Have you ever caddied for any celebrities?
No, I have not caddied for any celebrities. I caddied for one NFL player, played for the Broncos. He was a tight end. I was like fangirling the whole time because I'm a Broncos fan. But I was 3 groups away from caddying for Trevor Lawrence last weekend. So that
That's
didn't
sick.
work out for me. He was like 3 groups behind me. I was like, oh shoot. A couple groups away from caddying for Patrick Mahomes. Like they're out there and it's a luck of the draw and you just show up and that's what it is. So
Yeah. At Harbortown one time, Gareth Bale had played like the day before, and everyone was just like freaking out. And they were like, Gareth Bale and all of his friends were here. And apparently he was like the nicest dude in the world and like gave a bunch of cash and everything like that. But I was like, I had to be like, wait, who's Gareth Bale again? And they're like, the soccer player. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, no, he's really famous.
I worked at Sandpiper Golf Course in Santa Barbara, California. It's right on the water. It's really, really pretty, very, very nice place to live. And ton of celebrities came out there, but I worked in the shop. So I met them, but I never like a cat. They don't have caddies, but that's my only experience of celebrities on the golf course though.
Do you wear caddy bibs?
Yeah. So we wear bibs during the summer with like the tie and it goes down to your thigh, and then you wear the jumpsuit in the fall and the winter, and then everybody's obsessed with the Masters, and so after the Masters they switched the bibs. So we just switched the bibs last weekend.
Which one do you prefer? I mean, I'm guessing like right now you're like bib all day, but like when it's when it's a little colder outside, like does the jumpsuit then come in handy, or is it just like give me the bib?
Well, the jumpsuit's way too big on me. They refuse to make my size. So I'm wearing like a men's jumpsuit and it looks ridiculous. And it's just a pain. Like it doesn't help that it's not gonna keep me warm. I just look dumpy in it. But I do like the bibs a lot more.
And so with that, I mean, I'm sure you figured out the rangefinder by now since your first thing. Do you bring that around with you as well?
So I have my own rangefinder. Oh my gosh, I forgot my rangefinder my first day caddying at Sawgrass, which happened to be the first day, I got the hole-in-one. So like, and so I was so embarrassed, and I went up to the caddy master and I was like, I forgot literally the only thing I had to bring today besides my tennis shoes was my rangefinder. And I was like, I'm such an amateur. I promise I used to caddy. And thank goodness they had an extra one. They usually have an extra one on hand. But yes, I have my own. And it does have meters on it, so I can switch it if people need it.
Here we go.
Have you ever done that accidentally before? Because let me tell you, I have done it and I didn't know how to switch it back and I was distraught.
Yeah, no. And then you have to do math. That's the worst. Because it's like 10%.
The math never maths either. Like it never, it does not math.
Yeah, no. But yeah, you have to know how to fix it.
That's hysterical. So what's your game like now? Being, out of college golf and, caddying, and, do you find time to play, get out there and play, yourself? I mean, you're always on the golf course, you're working at the PGA and you're caddying, but, do you ever find time for yourself to have a little you time on the course?
Tim, you're putting me on the spot here.
Don't worry. His famous question is, do you have any holes in one? But you already answered that. So he has to put you on the spot on this one.
I do have a hole in one, but I was the caddy.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
This
Yeah,
is true.
right.
That's the first one we've ever had on the pod.
This is the second one. The second one, because Nick had a hole. Yes, the second one. Or no, the third. Actually, yeah, one of our former guests, Landon, had one at TPC Sawgrass at the. I think it was.
That would be full cycle if that was who she was caddying.
That was it.
That would have been unreal.
That's sick.
Oh, but Landon's like 20, and I think Elly, you said it was an older guy, wasn't it?
No, he was a younger guy. He was like 32.
Ah, okay. Well, Landon's like 20, so it wasn't. That would have been.
That would have been really cool. Golf game. I don't play nearly as much as I'd like to, and everybody says that once they get a full-time job, and if I wasn't caddying on the weekends, maybe I would have time to play golf, but pretty much right now my skill level is on the range, and so and that's my outlet. If I need some time to myself, I just go to the range and hit balls, kind of put my headphones in and just tune everybody out, and put my phone out, whatever. I just that's my outlet. So that's my practice. I don't really get to show it on the golf course. I haven't played in a while. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm a washed up 2 athlete.
Good for you. Good for you. Got to start running marathons now. Or something. I don't know. Isn't that what
we will not be running marathons? It's
Isn't
so
that the
silly.
thing?
I'm just kidding. If you've ever run,
No,
congratulations.
out
It's
on
amazing.
that one.
No, I'm definitely.
I ran a
I
5K. I ran the Plaid Nation 5K, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. Like this is.
I definitely relate to the one of the most therapeutic things in my world is going to the range, putting your headphones in, just like you said, tuning people out. It is
Yeah.
just the most relaxing hour you can spend, at least in my opinion. So I can definitely relate to that.
I love it. And there's this new, it's not new, but I just moved here, so it's new for me. But there's this range down the street and they're open until I think like 9:30 or 10. They have Top Tracer. It's just on a mat. It's only one level, so it's not, like the Top Golf. It's pretty grungy, like it's not nice at all, but they have the old time coins where you like go and get your own bucket and it comes out. But they have like a cute little bar out there too. And I think I got like a high noon the other day for like $3 and a bucket of balls for 10.
Wow.
And
Wow.
put headphones in and I had a high noon and I hit
under the lights
literally by
too?
myself. Yeah, under the lights. It was awesome.
That is a
Oh my
perfect like
God.
self-care night,
Right?
there. Like
Yeah.
1 to 2, like if you have 2, great. If you have 1, great. Like 1 to 2 drinks,
Mhm.
hit balls for an hour. God.
It was so good.
Some
It needs to
people
hit 70
they
degrees
do
again
bubble
up here.
baths.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Some people are like, I'm gonna watch a movie or like, I want to be outside. And it's not a workout, but you're like moving. So it's,
Yeah.
it's just
You're
nice.
moving your arms more than you would have
Yeah.
if you weren't. Absolutely.
And it's hot here, so I don't want to go during the day.
Mm.
Especially during the summer, it's gonna get really hot. So like when I was in Hilton Head, I just tried. If I was gonna go practice, it was gonna be at like 7 a.m. because it was so dang hot. But now that when the sun goes down and I have the lights up, like it's perfect.
Have you ever played a course with under the lights?
Yes,
I've always
that is
wanted.
my favorite. If I am rich one day, I want to build one for myself and
Right.
like and sell it and like have a cute bar and have the lights up and make this, even if it's just a 9-hole par 3 course. I think that would be so fun.
It's just like there's something about it, and it's like
Mhm.
especially if you live where it gets real hot in the day, it just makes sense. I feel like
Yeah.
I mean a lot here it just doesn't make sense, or it's in like a residential neighborhood and no one wants it. But
Mhm.
I've always wanted to. Brendan just recently did when he was overseas. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah. I
cool.
did a little par 3 course in Dubai, which was sick. And then I did one in Orlando too, which was
Nice.
awesome.
Super fun. Yeah, I love them. I think it's a great
Yeah.
idea.
I would love
if
to do
you-
like the full 18 under it, but it's just like it was so freaking expensive. I was like, I don't think I can. I'd rather play like the nice course during the day than play like the decent course, but it's really cool that you're under the lights. But I was like, I'll take this one instead.
Yeah.
Elly, this golf course that you are going to make, this par 3 under the lights tournament golf course, whatever you want to do, please tell me, do you have a name picked out for it? Do you have something in mind? What would you name this golf course?
I don't know. You really put me on the spot there.
That's what I do. That's what I
Tim's
do.
putting people on the spot tonight. I love it. This is great.
I don't know. It'd have to be I'd probably keep it open during the day, obviously. So like during the winter and the fall, they can play during the daytime and not just a specific nighttime. But
Sure.
I don't know. I'd have to figure it out.
Just make sure it's not one that's like there's a golf course already named it, because that gets confusing. We have like 3 Meadowbrooks here, and you tell someone you're playing Meadowbrook, you can't find them. You're at the wrong course or something.
That's terrible. I
And
hate
2 Brook Meadows. We have 3 Meadowbrooks.
Like
and 2 Brook
what the hell's
Meadows.
going on here?
What?
Lack of creativity. I'd rather them call it like the junkyard or something, like just something random, anything.
I like that. See, I like that one.
Junkyard.
Bad
Lake.
Junkyard.
golf
That way
club.
people don't forget it. Like they're like, oh, I'm going to the junkyard.
Yeah,
You know,
it doesn't
right
have to be
next
this
it.
elegant.
Honestly,
swanky
that's a
thing.
great name for that's a great name for like for the driving range that you were talking about. Like $10 the ball, $10 a ball, $10 for a bucket of balls, $3
got-
high noon.
You gotta
Yeah.
have like
That's some junkyard stuff right
junkyard
there. I like that.
junkyard cars out that you gotta aim at in the range. That's ideal.
Brian, stop giving our business ideas away.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up here.
Wow.
We'll talk offline.
we'll talk offline.
Oh shoot.
Oh man. Tim, you want to do our rapid fires?
You got it. Elly, we got some, these aren't like, I guess we're putting you on the spot 1 more, 2 more, 3 more times.
Yeah.
All right. That's kind of our MO. It's at least one.
I think we sent her a
hey.
list of questions and we probably haven't asked too many.
We
of them.
asked like 3 of them. We were good. We were good.
Okay.
All right, so Elly, I want you to pretend. I want you to picture yourself stranded on an island. You're going to be stranded on this island for 1 year. You have unlimited golf balls. Whatever golf ball you hit, you can hit those. You have a humongous pile that keeps replenishing. But you can only bring 1 club to this island. Which club are you going to bring?
7-iron.
Ooh, right off the bat. And
That
why?
was quick. That was quick.
Favorite
That's
club
like it.
or your deserted island club? Like, is it
Both.
like it both? Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
will.
can. I mean, I can hit it really far, and well, I can hit it really well, and it's like it goes 150, so it's easy to add up. So if I hit 2 of them, it's gonna be 300, and then it's easier to kind of hit around the greens if you're gonna do like a little bump and run, and I feel like it would be fine to putt with.
I like that.
So you
I like
have
that. Right
good course management. I never even thought.
I'm a
that you-
caddy. Come on, Brian.
Yeah, you're just like trying to keep it straight. I'm just trying to hit it way too far, and then that's why I'm as bad as I am. I need a better caddy, I guess.
There you go. There you go.
All right. I want you to look in your backyard. I'm not sure if you have a backyard, but pretend you have a massive backyard. In this
Okay.
backyard is a golf hole. This golf hole is going to be any golf hole you've ever played or a golf hole you've seen on TV. What is the most picturesque golf course that you would want as your backyard hole? You get to play it over and over again. It could be any hole. Say it's 17 at TPC Studios Autographs. It comes with all the scenery, all the accoutrements of this different hole. Which hole would you want as your backyard hole?
14 at Harbortown.
Wow.
I
Brendan,
like
You
it.
just became Brendan's
Brendan's
favorite
smiling.
guest.
Mine's
your favorite hole,
18 because I
Brendan?
love 18.
But it's
I-
like she remembered.
I mean, yeah, like, and I don't want to say that it's, I don't want to say the given answer like 17 or 18, the 17 at Sawgrass or 18 at Harbortown. Of course, yes, they have that picturesque and like that ambiance of like the really cool hole. But 14 is like, it's like the best hole that I've ever played, ever caddied for. I love the look of it. And it doesn't matter where the pin's at. Like I could play it a million times. I love that hole.
I have a very funny story about that hole. Well, I have 2 funny stories. Number 1, I've hit in the house at that 14th hole.
Yeah,
Over
it happens a lot.
more than once. The guy came out one time, was not happy with me.
Well, they're all renters, so it wasn't the owner. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but it was so funny. I was like, whoops. So there is the tiny little bunker behind, like right there on 14, that sometimes, like, I feel like they switch it like every 3 or 4 years, where they either make it a bunker or they put it back to just like grass, or they remake it a bunker. But my mother hits it into that bunker every single time. And my mom is the worst sand player that I've ever seen in my life. And she just finds it every time.
Oh.
And then she just hits it right into the water. Every single time we play that.
Yeah. It's
Like,
hard to
one
keep on
time
the green. Like that's a hard shot.
One
I will
time
not
she was
stand for this
literally
Nancy
trying to
Monroe
go
slander.
like sideways to like get to the back of the green, and it still went into the water.
Oh man.
Your poor mother. Everything it's you,
Yeah.
Brendan. Everything you're the issue.
No, I hit the house instead. Come on. No, I don't hit it into that bunker. I just
Can't talk ill of your mother.
I'm not talking ill. I'm telling the truth. There's a difference. Telling the truth. Love you, Mom. She does listen. Anyway. Oh man. But yeah, so I agree. I think I actually really do like 13 as well. Like I just love that you just have like kind of it even though it's not just a Pete Dye thing, but you have the massive bunker with the plate with
That's
the
an Alice
wooden
Dye thing.
panels. Yeah.
That's an Alice Dye thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I
Yeah.
love it.
I don't like in that bunker though. It's
I
crazy.
hate that bunker. Well, 7 at Heron Point, it's the same exact thing, but it's just a par 3 instead of a par 4. And I'm just like, I've hit it into that bunker a couple times at Heron Point, and I'm just like, I hate my life right now. Like, why did I hit a 50-degree wedge when I knew I had to hit my pitch wedge?
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right, which one do you want to do last? Is that it?
Brian, are we allowed to do the pie and the cake?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
I'm scared.
Go, Tim.
It's a
Elly,
ridiculous
this is
question.
you're not gonna. This is gonna be very weird. You may hang up immediately, but it's okay. It's nothing to do with golf. It's a very interesting question.
Okay.
It's an original question. Do you think a cake would be more offended to be called a pie, or would a pie be more offended to be called a cake?
A cake be more offended to be called a pie.
I agree.
No,
I agree.
If it's like a beautiful big wedding cake or something like that, you can't be a pie.
Can't be a pie.
I agree.
Pie is the most. Pie may be more
I think
American.
so.
Pie is apple pie. It's the greatest thing.
Yeah, but all the pies are the same shape. Cakes, they got different tiers, and you can look at Cake Boss. They made a whole show out of it, buddy.
I swear to God, if I ever hear the word
like a pie
fondant,
Pie boss. Brendan is the pie boss. Clearly,
I would be. No. Dan is the pie boss.
yeah, that's true.
Dan is the pie boss.
Agreed.
I swear, if I ever hear, like, I am so happy that show is gone, because if I ever had to hear the word fondant ever again,
That's-
Oh
which is literally just freaking paste, like it's literally just food paste, like edible paste, like
he
what are
put
we doing?
fondant on the map. Buddy put fondant on the map for sure.
buddy.
Yeah.
This is why we don't ask the question. Sorry, Ellie.
No, then we bring up
I want
cheesecake.
boss.
Then we bring up cheesecake, and
Forgot-
it just goes down a
Brendan, I
rabbit
forgot
hole
people were
because-
still here.
oh.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Anyway,
good.
Anyways,
That's
well,
it.
any questions for us, Ellie?
Yeah. I have a lot actually. Right.
Yeah, this was our therapist.
Is there any food? Is there any
Yeah.
food related questions? Because we're all into those right now.
Wait, okay, I actually have one, and you have one answer.
Mm.
I'll go first. That way you have time to think. What
Okay.
is the all-time best food/snack on the golf course?
Mm.
Mine is a very warm and mushy Rice Krispie treat.
Wow,
Oh,
that gets
Cat-
your
Caddy,
blood sugar
I
back for
always
sure.
have it on like 13 or 14 for some sugar to like get through. And then when I play, I usually have it at the turn and then on the back nine as well. But it's so good. It's been in the sun and it's like warm and it's delicious.
I always wondered what that pocket was for on the caddy bib. It's for Rice
now you
Krispies.
know.
Yeah,
I'm fully stocked.
of course. of
That's a Rice
course.
Krispie pocket. Got
I
it.
used to put goldfish in that pocket. It was the best.
There you go.
Wait, in a bag or out of the bag? You just put it.
Oh, out of the bag, in the little baggie. In the little baggie. You take it out of the
Like
plastic.
Napoleon
bag,
and his
take it out
tater
of the
tot.
big thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Imagine if you just had rogue goldfish in there. That would be. I need a caddy to now have rogue goldfish in there.
I'm sure
I'm
Chuck.
sure
does.
that wouldn't
Chuck-
be the first
I
thing.
don't-
I'm sure that's out there somewhere.
I don't know Chuck, but just his name, I think he's got rogue goldfish in his.
Imagine Chuck with rogue goldfish. Chuck,
No
you would
shot.
never-
No shot. Chuck probably doesn't even eat on the golf course.
Yeah, he hasn't eaten
Had a banana.
all week. He's just he doesn't eat it. I love that.
Who's got
All
the
right,
next
Bry guy,
food?
do you want to go, or Tim? Do you have yours ready to go, or do you want should I go?
I'm gonna
Yep.
say a good. Go ahead, Bry.
No. You got it.
I'm gonna say a good old fashioned, nice little 6 packages of peanut butter crackers. There's nothing better than a good
Nice.
peanut. Either whether it's the brand is Austin or Pepperidge Farm, whatever it is. A nice quick package of 6 delicious peanut butter crackers. Just pop those in, suck it down with some water, and then boom, you're ready for the back nine.
Nice. There you go. That's a good one. But you definitely need water.
Need water. It's
They
dry.
are very dry.
Yeah, very dry.
It's not my favorite, but I realized that the only good setting for the green bars, the Nature Valley bars, the ones that just shatter when you open up the package. I
Mhm.
realized that a golf course is the only appropriate setting to eat that without
Mm.
having to vacuum afterwards or just get it all over the place. It's not my favorite, but I think my go-to, and it's probably like another, just like a blood sugar level thing is I always like a Snickers at the turn. Like I like getting a Snickers.
A cold one?
Yeah, yeah. You can't carry it around in the bag. Like you got to get it at the turn, or
You gotta like stuff it. You have to eat it real quick.
because that becomes just soup. But yeah, nice cold Snickers I think is my go-to.
Good stuff. Brian, I will ruin your life right now though. I was my first summer caddying. I bought a big Costco box of Nature Valley bars. And I was on 16 one day, opened it up, and there was a worm inside.
Ooh.
I haven't had one since. That was my caddy snack, like for years.
Oh, sorry for bringing it up. Yeah.
So, ruined your life, sorry.
Yeah. So there's just no good setting for it. This is all just smearing the name of Nature Valley. It's like no, nothing's good comes out of it.
You can put it into like a yogurt thing. You put it into like Chobani, and
that becomes really granola for sure. I mean, it is
Brandon, what about you? What's yours?
I am going to go back to the old faithful because
don't say rogue goldfish. Don't say rogue gold.
I'm not going to say rogue goldfish, but I am going to say goldfish. I am going to say they used to sell
the classic original goldfish.
Yeah. Oh, I am original. Well, original is weird because the original goldfish aren't really the original ones. Like cheddar was the original flavor, and then they came out with original, and it's like those are just like plain crackers, and they're kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Not a fan. But so you have your goldfish, and you have a Michelob Ultra.
No, you're only allowed to have one.
Nice. He's always breaking the rules.
I always break. I usually make the rules. So
three balls off the tee and only one snack. You're very strict.
This is 17 at Sawgrass. This is not 8. I play 18 at Harbortown, where the world is my oyster. I can just do whatever I want. Oh man, but I will go. Okay, so no Michelob Ultra then, just the snack. I will go goldfish because there's just something about them. They're the snack that smiles back when I'm having if I hit a bad tee shot on hole 10, I can just look down and be like, "Oh, adorable."
So you could probably use it as a ball mark too. That would be a good ball mark.
That would be sick.
Nice. Happy Gilmore's caddy would eat it for sure.
Yes.
That would be funny.
Or the birds. Birds will come and snap it.
True.
Yeah. Luckily, not too many. Luckily, Hilton Head's pretty good that they don't have the fox squirrels like when you get over the frickin' bridge and you go play Hilton Head National or anything like that. And there's just those disgusting trash pandas.
Yeah, I saw a raccoon at Sawgrass the other day running down the field. Like, where in the world did he come from?
In the during the day?
Literally during the day, run down the field.
Yeah, they're nocturnal, so that's not good.
Like, this is so weird. They like ran into the bush, and the guy was like, "What was that?" I was like, "I think it was a raccoon." It was wild. We've got some crazy wildlife though. Like I've seen snakes everywhere. It's terrifying.
The snakes are bad. I hate when people call alligators spicy water geckos because they're freaking dinosaurs and they deserve to be extinct. But that's my personal opinion. Some people love the alligators. I despise them. The one that used to live on hole 8 at Harbortown, that was like 300 years old and like 14 freaking feet, was just the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, he's up there.
I hate it when people call them spicy water geckos.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
I've never heard it either.
That's a mouthful. I've never even heard that either.
They're not good. They're dinosaurs and they're horrible. And I hate them with a passion.
They actually take them out of Sawgrass. We have 2, one at Dice and one at Stadium, and they're very small. So like I'll have them. That's a different story.
Surprise, surprise, they do that at Wexford and Hilton Head, but that's about it.
Yeah, there you go. That would make sense at Wexford.
That's the only place where they take the gators. Sea Pines, it's just like, just don't bring your dog. Just no dogs in the water. I'm like, okay, we'll go to the beach. And then all of a sudden you see a gator at the beach. And I'm like, no, now we're done. Now we're just done. But yeah. But anyways, I don't want to get off track anymore. Elly, thank you so much for joining. We really, really appreciate it. Everyone needs to go follow her. All of her Instagram social medias. I believe it's just Elly B. Carlson, right? Or is it
Elly B as in boy, Carlson, ELLY is how you spell Elly. Instagram and TikTok.
Great.
Hashtag
Caddy Girl.
Caddy. Caddy girl.
Hashtag girl caddy and caddy girl. Gotta go. You gotta go follow, because boy, some of the stuff she posts, like I laugh every single time that I watch anything.
Plenty of more caddy stories, so follow me for more caddy stories. That's for
There we
sure.
go. Love that.
Great. Well, we really appreciate it, Elly. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. It was so nice to meet y'all.